From the 1011 Now Alert Center,
This is the Night Beat.
sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Good evening and thank you for joining me. I'm Jessica Blum with your headlines for Monday, February 16th. First, one family's struggle could soon change another's life. The push to get insurance coverage for pediatric diseases. How far would you go to get your child medical help they need? Well, one Lincoln mom has gone back and forth with insurance companies for years, and she's now bringing her ideas to the Nebraska legislature. 1011 met with the family behind a new bill that would require insurance coverage for a set of pediatric disorders. Violet and Belle Troop are typical little girls. They go to elementary school, play outside on nice days, and love to twirl around in their best dresses. But tomorrow, 10-year-old Violet and 8-year-old Belle will do something most kids their age don't: testify in front of state senators. Both girls have pandas, a type of disease that creates inflammation in the brain that leads to behavioral changes. Basically, a misdirected immune response where the immune system attacks the brain. It's not rare, but is rarely diagnosed. Mom Grace Troop has been battling for years to get the right treatment for her daughters. Tomorrow, the family will testify at the Capitol on a bill that would require insurance companies to cover the treatment that would send both their conditions into remission.
I'm proud of my mom.
Yeah.
She's done so much. 5 years searching for what had affected us, and then like 3 years trying to get the right diagnosis.
Violet is well versed in her condition, explaining the IV treatment that can help. Her PANS started when she was little, describing how she suddenly couldn't be held without screaming and crying and would refuse to eat foods she once liked. She even once went 3 days without eating. Grace says once they saw a specialist and started to get help, she could see her daughter turning back into herself. LB 762 would be heard in the Banking, Commerce, and Insurance Committee at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. Violet tells us she wants her senators to know what kind of future she can have if she gets this treatment. In other news tonight, Nebraska is a no-burn state, meaning that in order to carry out a controlled burn for whatever reason, you'd need permission from your local fire department first. But right now, those permits are nearly impossible to get. Departments are pulling back on dishing them out as conditions for a fast-spreading fire are ripe. Lancaster County, along with much of Nebraska, will be on a fire weather watch for most of tomorrow, thanks to dry fuels and vegetation, low humidity, higher winds, and these warmer temperatures. And fire departments across the county are urging those in the community to stay cautious, and as even the smallest spark can have a big impact. Waverly Fire Chief Robin Hoffman said he put a grass fire out just last night, a response he says departments in the area see in growing number each year when the snow dries, and fields of dry crops sit ripe for a fast-spreading blaze. Now, departments like Waverly, Sutton, York, Unadilla, just to name a few, have stopped giving out burn permits to residents completely, urging extra caution as they say even just one spark can spread much faster than volunteer departments like them can have enough people on scene to control.
A lot of the grass fires or some of the wildland fires that we do have in Nebraska, they're caused by rekindles from burn piles that have happened maybe 1-2 weeks prior. A lot of times the embers will kick back up and cause the grass fire.
We also spoke with a volunteer at another area fire department about this today, and we'll have more from that interview tonight at 10. Much of Nebraska will be experiencing fire weather conditions on Tuesday, but firefighters in central Nebraska already battled a large fire over the weekend. Here's a look at that fire near Sutton in Clay County. The fire department says a burn pit reignited flames which spread into a nearby field. Firefighters from Grafton and Henderson were called in to help put out the blaze. A heads up, if you live in Clay County, the Sutton Volunteer Fire Department is one with many others no longer issuing burn permits due to low humidity. We're getting new information from Lincoln Police regarding a shooting that happened over the weekend, just a few blocks southwest of the state capitol building. It happened on Saturday at 12th and E Streets around 4:30 p.m. LPD tells us they found a male victim with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. During an investigation, police identified 40-year-old Paul Kahn as the suspect. He was arrested not far from the scene a few hours after the alleged shooting. Kahn was arrested for several felonies, including assault and weapons charges. Officers are looking into what led up to the trigger being pulled. Now to an update from the Capital Humane Society. The shelter is still trying to find homes for more than 100 cats that were rescued from a hoarding situation in northeast Lincoln a couple weeks ago. Luckily, they say 17 cats have already been adopted, and there's been an abundance of support from the community. To help make some extra room, shelters across the state have also taken in cats that were already up for adoption at CHS.
It just goes to show that we had a lot of people in this community and surrounding communities that care a lot about companion animals and care about these cats, and so just grateful for everybody that has helped us out and supported us through this situation.
The Central Nebraska Humane Society in Grand Island is one of those shelters. They've taken in 12 cats. And the Nebraska Humane Society in Omaha is providing shelter for 16. Right now, there's still 71 cats at the Capital Humane Society still needing treatment and new families. They say any donations or volunteers willing to come spend time socializing them are appreciated. In Husker news, with a loss to Purdue and a win over Northwestern last week, Nebraska is moving down 2 spots in the AP Top 25 poll. The Nebraska Huskers now sit at number 9 ahead of their road matchup against conference rival Iowa Tuesday night. For Husker standout Bryce Sanford, he will be in familiar territory. Sanford spent 2 seasons with the Hawkeyes before transferring to Nebraska. In Saturday's game against Northwestern, Sanford notched 6 3-pointers, now just 1 shy of tying the single-season school record set during the 2001-2002 season. But he could just break that record against his former team.
Certainly there will be emotions. He had 2 really good years at Iowa, and I'm sure a lot of things will be going through his mind, but once that ball goes up, all that stuff will go out the window, and it's all about going out and doing the things that have made him one of the top players in our league to this point in the season.
Nebraska will be looking for its 7th Big Ten road win of the season against Iowa. The Huskers haven't won more than 5 since joining the Big 6 conference in 1928. Tomorrow night's game tips off at 8 p.m. and will be broadcast on the Big Ten Network. Finally tonight, and rounding out your night beat, is a check of the 7-day forecast. Enjoy the fake spring temperatures while they last this week. We'll be in the middle and almost upper 70s tomorrow with a lot more wind and, as we've mentioned, the high fire danger really across the state. Likely record warmth for the Lincoln area and still quite mild on Wednesday with a high in the 60s, but then the bottom will fall out on Thursday with high temperatures in the 40s, but with a wind and colder conditions, the wind chills that day could be feeling like the 20s and 30s before temperatures over the weekend will fall to more seasonal levels in the 30s and lower 40s.
You've been listening to The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.